Ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
It's time for the Early Bird Special. Bringing you the best stories from the world of sports and sports entertainment. Now, here are your hosts, Sparky and Burdick.
Well, good Friday morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube. This is the Early Bird Special. I'm Chris Burdick. That is Sparky. Sparky, good Friday morning. I see you're very, very energetic with your coffee today. You guys missed. I was trying to get the stream down before he was done dancing, but I couldn't get it down. Bugged myself. Let them know what they're in for, my guy.
Oh, a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, no kidding. Show him the cup. Show him the cup real quick before we get into this. This man does not usually drink coffee, and he got
a bowl of cereal.
A extra large cup from one of our pantries over here and filled it this morning.
Yeah. Brought to you by First Look with Scott Cox on Kern Radio, our sister station.
Naturally.
But we'll get into all sorts of stuff, and it is going to be a wrestling-filled day, but we'll get into that much later. But we'll get into Flag's debut, OKC, locking in the third part of their trio. And we've got another football player injuring themselves on the 4th of July. Some all-star additions to the MLB All-Star. And plus, I believe the Home Run Derby is all set.
It is.
So we'll get into that. Plus, we'll have our boy Chris Flail ahead of his comedy show next week at Timber. He'll talk a little wrestling. He'll preview that comedy show. And then I am pumped to see and meet Kyle Pitzer, the owner of Dionysus Brewing. And we found a local brewery that airs live wrestling events. So I'm pumped to hear about that. Plus, they do hot sauces. And if you know me, I'm all about beer, hot sauce, and wrestling.
Naturally.
So if you have your predictions or anything you'd like to throw in on any of those topics, feel free. It is a free-for-all type Friday, and you could call or text in anytime at 661-842-2000.
I feel like we have to start in the world of basketball, though, because as we said a couple days ago, all eyes were on Cooper Flagg yesterday as he made his Summer League debut. Ended with 10 points, went 5 for 21, 0 for 5 from 3. In my personal opinion, at least defensively, he looked a step slow.
Yeah, he looked very slow.
It was pretty concerning. But again, first game in Summer League, much like we said with Ace Bailey, not that big of a deal. You just want to see what he looks like against somewhat competent competition in the NBA, especially in these Summer League games. I would say, I mean, I've seen it said this way, but he made some key winning plays for the team late in a close game in Summer League. I think that is a good sign in itself. And I don't think you're also hoping this guy comes in as like the bona fide scoring superstar. I think he's going to benefit from having guys around him like D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis early, and then Kyrie much later in the season. But when he's actually healthy, is going to fit fantastically as well. So for Cooper Flagg fans, or at least for Dallas Maverick fans, I would say, even though statistically looked pretty rough, I'd say it's a C. I'd give him a C in this game. Now, who gets a pretty solid B to B plus? Bronny. I don't know about you guys, but Bronny made some pretty good plays and actually looked solid at the point yesterday.
He played good defense.
Yes,
too.
He did. And that's kind of what you want to see from him, a 3-and-D kind of player. I think that's where he's going to be a successful he's going to have a successful career in the league, is as a 3-and-D kind of guard for the league that can contribute to a championship team. And honestly, I think he's making the right strides. I don't know what you guys think. 661-842-2000. Do you like what you saw from Bronny and Cooper yesterday during the Summer League game? I give Bronny a B+ and Cooper a C.
I finally watched a Summer League game, and I'm so glad I did not pay for those tickets.
Again, yeah, you did.
It's
not something
you could tell in 5 minutes into the game. Okay, this is Summer League.
Look, brother, like I said, if you are in Vegas looking to blow money, you got nothing to do all day, go buy a ticket, because these tickets for literally all day long, you can catch every single game that day in the same seat. I like that idea, but if you're like a basketball fan and you're hoping to go see some real hardcore NBA basketball, nah, hold your money, wait for the regular season to start, and then go to one of those games.
Even the announcers were digging on that because they were like, man, we're here, and luckily we didn't have to pay for tickets, but they were saying even nosebleeds, and they even sold tickets that weren't with seats.
Yeah.
Just walk around seats, and they started around $900. And I mean, I got home 4:58. I rushed home, turned it on, and I was surprised because Bronny looked a lot more polished.
Yes.
He was making open shots, making it look good, easy. Cooper, I will probably double on that one. He looked super slow, and he did say in the post game that that was his worst game that he's played ever. But it is summer league, and that is why he is playing. It's for growth. It's for some practice. And he said that he was hesitating at the 3-point line because it's a little deeper than it is in college. So you could see the first 2 or 3 that he shot, he was looking down at the line. It was like, and he hesitated a few times. I think once he gets comfortable, you'll see a more polished Cooper Flag. But the coach did say that they are expecting to play him a lot more than they were expecting to.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that. I know we said a couple weeks ago when we talked about this that, and I still stand by it, usually your star rookies play maybe a game or two and you don't see him the rest of the time. But from what we saw with Cooper in this game one, I expect him to play a healthy amount in Summer League. And I mean, let's also remember he's 18 years old, turning 19 in December. So he's still very
It's just
young.
a young.
And I mean, I would not doubt it if we could just chalk this up to nerves.
Yeah,
To be honest,
100%.
So, and if it's a C, like a C game, and you chalk it up to nerves, I think that's a good sign. But I don't know. I agree with you. I think defensively he looked a little bit slow. Maybe he was just hesitating there as well, trying to overthink where these guys are going to go or where they're going to take him. I just think that if he continues down this path and we just get us a healthy amount of Cooper Flag on this team in the summer league, I think it'd be better for him. I think that honestly, going forward, it might be the best idea. And guys like Ace Bailey will also be dealing with this too. Because I mean, again, real slow start from him as well. But I think that it's all signs are pointing upward, I should say, for this entire situation for Dallas. I don't think you really need to see Cooper drop 20 to 30 for him to really be successful in Summer League. But I do think you need to see at least the hesitancy go away. You have to see him just get comfortable in the NBA game, even if it's against guys who probably he won't see during the regular season. But
I mean, even
still
Bronny said the same thing. Bronny said, dude, I felt for him because I remember how I felt the year before going into my first game. And he said with all the media, you know, you have to learn at a young age that it's just, you have to quiet the crowd, quiet the talk. And he feels more comfortable, and he's turning into that player that we wanted to see.
Do you think they came in with the same kind of pressure too? I mean, obviously Bronny was not the number 1 overall pick and nowhere near the best player in his draft class, but obviously being the son of LeBron James was probably equal, if not more pressure than anybody in that draft class had.
Yep.
So, I mean, Alex Sarr wasn't exactly getting that kind of pressure. Neither was Zachary Ricochet. So I don't think I think if anybody in last year's draft class can kind of understand what Cooper's going through right now, it's Bronny. So I kind of echo that sentiment. It's like I feel for him. I'm going to chalk this one up to nerves, but a C game with bad nerves, I think that's a pretty damn good sign going forward. So
a good way to end it.
Yeah,
with the block and the assist to take the lead.
And that's what I'm saying. The winning plays at the end, not losing yourself at the end of the game and still contributing to the win itself. That is big. That's going to be huge going down the stretch.
And you were right. OKC locked in Jalen, and he signed a 5-year rookie max extension worth up to $287 million.
I mean, is anybody surprised?
No.
Although they literally dove face first into the second apron and now have 3 players that accumulate $800 million, dang near $1 billion between the 3 of them. You're putting all your eggs into these 3's baskets, a very good basket to put it in, to be honest with you. And we figured it was going to be somewhere around this, right? Like 260 to 280, right in between the two Chet and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's deals. I can't say I hate this. I really can't. I mean, you lock in the arguably the most pivotal piece of this team, much like Clay was a lot for, or I'm sorry, Clay and Draymond, really, because Clay had his moments for the Warriors of being way bigger on the court than Steph did in terms of being a key contributor getting to the championship. And I think Jalen has the same thing. Although we all know Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player on the team and makes most of the plays, they lean on Jalen to be the defensive leader of the team and arguably the vocal leader of the team. Because when he's hot on the court, everybody gets hot on the court. I mean, Chet
He's
is
a dog.
Chet is who Chet is. And honestly, I meant to get some audio because I kind of agree with what Kenyon Martin said the other day, which is 15 points and 8 rebounds a game gets you $250 million now.
Ding, ding, ding.
Like, yeah. I didn't really think about it that way when we originally heard about the deal. I knew they were going to sign something with him. So I was like, okay, if that's their price tag, that's their price tag.
Do you think if he was on any other team and wasn't with that core of Jalen and SGA that he probably wouldn't have got that money?
It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because Chet, it depends on how much Chet would be utilized on their team and whose team he'd be on.
I mean, but just as a piece of that core.
I get what you're saying. Like if he wasn't on a team like the Thunder and got this much praise because he was on a championship team, would he be that like paid that much? I think you could say that because obviously he's out of the three of them, he's obviously the bottom of that totem pole. I think it's kind of the same thing when it came to Draymond Green with the Warriors.
Just a core piece.
Yeah, and you can't lose that. And Chet has so much potential and promise at his position that it really does kind of justify paying him that money. Because if Chet Holmgren evolves into anything close to what we think he could play as, although he's not going to be like a Wemby-like center, like anybody that's up there in that type of a skill level, he could at least participate in that area. Like if Wemby is an A, I would put Chet at a B. It's like, not in a 1A, 1B situation, but in a grade situation. And honestly, I think that alone kind of justifies the Thunder saying, okay, can we really find anybody at this position that does what Chet does and does it better than Chet? No. So give your money to him then.
And you think OKC could be the next dynasty that we're looking at?
Yeah, 100%, especially if they bounce back next year and look just as good as they did this year. If we get another 60-win season and them just spearheading their way all the way to the championship again, 100% we're talking dynasty in Oklahoma City. It is not, especially with these three wrapped up for the next 5 years. Yeah, 100%. All we're thinking is Oklahoma City is now the top dog in the West, and everybody else has to compete with them. And that's not, there's not much else you have to say about the start of a dynasty, in my opinion, than that. So I do 100% think that. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, we talked before the playoffs and everyone was saying, they were too young. They weren't going to do it. And I think after proving them that they could come together and win a championship, I think it's one of many to come to OKC.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point right there, is that the doubt that everybody came in with this team, they're too young. I mean, I said it myself, like usually the young team doesn't make it that far, especially make or win the championship at the end of it all. I think that they have continuously proven all of the talking heads, including myself, wrong about them. So
well, it's happy joy time right now. They've got their title. Right. He's a cover of the new NBA game, and they've got their 3 stars locked in for the next 4 or 5 years. So
I still stand by my point, though, that we have to see how they fare next season.
How they bounce.
Because when you don't come in with the same kind of hunger to win a championship because you've already been there, that will affect your team going forward. And it may not be Chet, Shea, or Jalen that actually has that issue. Maybe they're still hungry, but that doesn't mean the rest of the team is going to be equally as hungry. So we have to see what happens with that as well. But I do think next year, 100%, if we see a 60-win season from the Thunder going into the playoffs, we're already talking about a dynasty.
Well, we'll talk about that and much more. Let us know how you feel. Do you think OKC is the next dynasty in the NBA? Anytime, 661-842-2000. We'll be right back on the Early Bird Special.
welcome back. This is the early bird special. Shifting from basketball over to football for a little bit, we have a handful of stories we got to get to. Starting with Najee Harris. Can we just make a unified statement right now that all football players should stay far, 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 far away from fireworks? I don't know what happened. Like, I would like to know the actual situation. All we know is that Najee's agent, Doug Hendrickson, told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Thursday that Najee injured his eye in an unfortunate fireworks accident in Antioch, California on 4th of July. They're claiming the injury is quote unquote superficial. And with this being a 1-year deal with the Chargers, obviously being a away from the game injury, they can obviously put him on a special list that won't hurt the team in terms of keeping him on or off the roster. Do you think
is
this?
it a performed, unperformed, whatever the hell it's called?
Unable to perform list or
Unable
something.
to perform because of jackass.
And they picked up a first round draft pick in Omarion Hampton, who obviously they can lean on to if Najee is in fact injured. Do you think this is going to harm Najee's potential to be on the team altogether, though? Because obviously, this being an away from the field incident brings up a lot of bylaws in these contracts that they can utilize to maybe move on from the running back as well.
I know the Chargers said they declined to comment on the situation. I know we've got some Charger fans, Tyson, Dan. What do you guys think? Is it time to just cut your losses? And
you can't really say cut your losses if you never had him play for you.
You paid him a guarantee, so that's a loss. But I mean, they obviously were looking forward to the future when you draft a running back in the first round instead of betting on Najee to be the Najee of the early of his time in Pittsburgh. But I mean, it was. I mean, there's going to probably be some stuff off the field that he's going to have to take care of besides his eye. There was one person that was there that lost his fingers. I mean, it wasn't just him lighting a firework and it blew up in his face or anything. It went and hurt a couple people. But I mean, football wise, I mean, if he can prove that it's not that major of a setback and he can be there for training camp here, I believe in a week or two. I mean, we'll see.
And that's what I am kind of wondering here, because they're saying the injury is superficial, and the declining of commenting on the question can be just as damning as it could be hopeful. They could be saying, that's stupid, we're not even going to answer that question. Or they could double down and just say, no, we're not going to. Yeah. Which one do you have? Which one sounds better to you?
And you have a hard-headed, no BS type coach with Harbaugh. Maybe they go and
but that's why I need to know what happened with the situation here. Was it was he sitting there with his family enjoying a fireworks show and a firework blew up and he just happened to be near it and caught a spark? Or is this a situation where he was being irresponsible with fireworks and it literally blew up in his face? You know what I mean? Like, so what is the situation? I think is really what's going to boil it or have this all boiled down to, if he was being irresponsible or not. I just don't see him being the irresponsible type, knowing how his career has gone so far. I mean, we've never really heard of Najee Harris getting into that kind of an antic off the field. So until I am proven otherwise, I don't feel like we should feel that way. But I do worry that this could potentially have him, one-way ticket to free agency if they do decide, you know what, Hampton's doing pretty dang well. And with him being injured with an off the field thing that we had nothing to do with, maybe it's time that we just kind of relieve ourselves of the situation.
So my question is, just in the last week, we've heard a lot of NFLPA discussions over, guarantees and inside of contracts. Do you think it's time for them to kind of discuss on, what teams or contracts should have when it comes with maybe stricter off-season safety guidelines type things? Because, I mean, this isn't the first time.
I mean, they already have pretty strict guidelines. I mean, most of these guys can't even get on a boat because they have it in their contract.
Well, that was a part of, the thing we didn't really dive into last week. But, I mean, there is a lot of talks with the guarantees and contracts. And, I mean, it's holding up 20, 30, players that haven't signed their rookie deals yet.
True, very much true. But and I honestly, and I don't mean to take it to this extreme, I really don't. But how far is really a contract to forcing somebody to do something? You know what I mean? Like, how much can you really control of someone's life just because they signed a contract with your organization? It's like you're going to get a lot of people taking it to an extreme of maybe even slavery at that point, and you can't really go that far. I think that they're doing everything they can. I do stand by my statement when we started this story, though. I think every football player needs to stay 50 to 100 feet to 100 yards away from any firework possible. You're not lighting them. You're not handing your kid a sparkler. I don't care. Like, it's not something you need to be handling. Now, again, that's why I need to know what happened with this story, though, in Antioch. I need to know if he was the one that was being irresponsible at the situation, or if it was, something like that. So I need to read into this a little bit more.
I just
But
want to see if he can get a Charger patch to
right,
play under his helmet and start selling that, because I mean they've had several things this offseason. I mean, you brought up the boats and the betting that's been a big deal in all sports, but maybe maybe the fireworks need to be a clause in contracts, just like you said. Maybe they need to just keep players away while they're under contract from 4th of July
so,
celebrations.
yeah.
Let the professionals do that.
So I'm looking at the story a little bit more here from the San Francisco Chronicle. Apparently, 6 men and a 13-year-old boy were injured during this incident. It took place at a apartment complex down there in the area. Again, what is his connection to the situation is unclear. But if he is just an innocent bystander that just happened to be there when some dummy who is the one, it does say the one that lit the firework is the one who lost fingers.
Makes
So
sense.
maybe this was just some
And just
dummy on the 4th of July trying to be cool with the firework.
he was
And
sitting by the cooler and caught one in the eye.
exactly. So, and if that is the case, then Najee will probably heal from this and they'll just move on. And all of this is just a big hoopla blow up for no reason. Which maybe is why we didn't hear from this or from his agent until yesterday. I mean, it's a superficial injury, quote unquote. Still don't know what that means.
No, I was just going to ask you, what the hell is a
I've never
superficial
heard
injury?
anybody use it as a superficial injury.
Maybe Pratt will, or what our boy at 8 will know.
Yeah, I'm assuming what he means by superficial injury is that it's not detrimental to his play, but like maybe, like we said, maybe he caught one like right to the face, or like he was close to the blast and like he's got a lot like with the face that he's dealing with right now, and that's what he means by superficial. But it's just an odd way to really put the injury. And I don't know, the ESPN article is putting it pretty bluntly that the Chargers are just trying to wrap this up and move on with it and see what happens with Najee. But I'm just going to double down, triple down, quadruple down. Really don't care. Stay away from fireworks. And I don't know if you need more stricter guidelines in your contracts. I think that's a little extreme, but it's just a reasonable situation. Just stay away from fireworks. If you're going to a fireworks show, make sure you're plenty away from whomever is setting off said fireworks. I know you can't control everybody's idiocy, but there's far too many years now that we've heard of football players specifically and athletes get hurt from a fireworks situation. So I think it's just smarter in general if all football players just stay away from fireworks.
Well, we'll
It's
take
not a
our
smart idea.
break and we'll give you a Wimbledon update. Plus, I want to bounce off this news that AP might be getting in the boxing ring again, right here on the Early Bird Special on ESPN Bakersfield, 12:30 a.m.
101.1 FM. Good morning. The early bird special right here on ESPN Bakersfield. Give you a quick Wimbledon update. Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, like
Uh,
JR calls it, Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. Yeah. The American Taylor Fritz currently tied with Carlos Alcaraz in sets as they go into the third. Carlos holds a 5-3 game lead right now in the third set. I'm hoping. There's still hope out here for the American. I'm believing. I don't know why. Something in my brain, something in my heart tells me we got to lean on America for Wimbledon. I mean, could you imagine though? Because I mean, I was thinking about this and talking about this yesterday after the show. If you look at the women's side, an American has won, I think, the last 3 or 4 majors. If we keep this going and we just clean sweep these majors, American tennis is back, baby. We are back. I'm just saying. I mean, if we can get Taylor Fritz in the final, even against Yannick Sinner, I don't know if he will beat Yannick Sinner.
Sinner's got to get there.
Yeah, no, that's the issue too. Yannick's got to go through, a hobbled Novak Djokovic, from what I understand. And if that is the case, should be a pretty easy match for Yannick. But I mean, he almost lost 2
I was
matches
gonna say
ago.
nothing's easy.
So
These are professionals.
God only knows. Right now, Carlos just closed out the third set, so he now leads 2-1 going into potentially the final set of the match. But there's still hope, I believe.
And a big shout out to my buddy Debbie Lewis, who has probably been up since 5 this morning getting pumped for some tennis. I'm going to get her back on the show, or get her on the show here in a couple of weeks to talk all things tennis. And I know she's got an event that she's promoting out at the Racket Club here in town.
Fantastic.
But to get in some wild stories that happened over the last 24, 48 hours, Adrian Peterson, who we talked about a couple weeks ago, fighting with a buddy of his in a poker game. Well, him and his buddy have signed a contract with Celebrity Boxing to fight it out in a boxing match. The fight will be a part of a celebrity boxing event. The dates have not been set yet, but this will be Peterson's second celebrity boxing fight after he did lose to Le'Veon Bell a while back. And I swear, if he loses to his buddy, I think he needs to step away.
Did he lose by decision in that one? Does it say? Does it by KO? I can't remember that.
I can't remember. I
really
remember
can't.
watching the fight, just thinking, okay, what do we?
You know what's funny is I probably watched it too, and I don't remember at all. That's how memorable it was. And I mean, Adrian getting in a boxing ring is hilarious after everything that happened in his career with the switch and the kid and all that type of stuff. So he's beating ass of his kid. Now he's trying to beat his ass of his friend. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I mean, if this is your post career, this is your post career, I suppose. And celebrity boxing has been very, very successful. So
it was a TKO in the 5th round.
Dude, if this guy has a glass jaw, could you imagine if he comes in and this guy just one clean shot and just knocks Adrian down? Because there's a considerable size difference here. Considerable size difference. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
It's like Ice Cube and Debo.
And again, the gladiator aspect of it is great. The fact that he's trying to keep himself an athlete is fantastic, I realize, and good for you in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, celebrity boxing, a lot of money in it. Maybe you guys are just trying to win back that money you lost at the poker game.
Yeah, or what they had to pay back.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll be watching this one, to be honest with you, if it's going to be televised at all. But speaking of odd moves by athletes, I saw this and I meant to bring this up too. Has anybody ever thought about getting a tattoo of yourself on you?
No.
Of yourself.
Steve-O?
Essentially, yeah, you pull a Steve-O. You take a portrait of yourself and you get tattooed on you. Well, Dame Lillard did something real weird. And or I don't say real weird. I shouldn't say it's weird.
It is weird.
I mean,
it's very weird.
I get the idea. I get what he's trying to do. So basically, if you saw this on the internet, I don't know. I'm hoping this is true. I'm pretty sure this is true. But there's a internet thing going around right now that Dame went and got a thigh tattoo of himself as a Greek warrior on his thigh. And I'm like, if this is true,
I hope he lost a bet and he had to do it because
that's a weird move to me. Cause like even when Steve-O did it on his back, I was like, bro, like that is clearly drug driven. Clearly drug driven.
well, he made a joke that I can't say off the air. When we
Yeah.
saw him live, he talked about that tattoo, and there was a reason he put it on his back. I'll just leave it
Yes.
at that.
100%.
But Steve-O is a jackass guy, so that's, I mean, anything he could do
right to
to
get
promote
people's
that.
attention
You
is
know, he's a
obvious.
jackass. So I mean, but
this,
somebody this big of an athlete to do that is just a bit weird to
and
me.
again, I hope this turns out to be some sort of just internet AI video that
Ugh.
someone's like, oh, that wasn't real. That's just some guy's
hope so.
leg.
I hope you're
That's
right.
like a fan's leg. That's like I seriously hope that's true, because if this is real and he actually got a tattoo of himself on his leg, I have so many questions. Like, who gave you this idea? Who put this in your head that a portrait of yourself is an interesting choice to put on your body? Like, I have multiple tattoos. Never once have I thought to get my own face on my body at any point in time. So I don't know. That was just a very odd story that I had to bounce off you, because I know we are both people.
I mean, we all get weird tattoos. I get it. If you're a tattoo person, and you know, I've got the Undertaker, Donkey Kong tattooed on me. I get it. I did it because that was my childhood growing up.
It's got meaning to you. That's
But
the thing. Like,
to put a tattoo of myself, that's a little bit more.
That's the only thing I kind of understand if this is real and that Dame did get this tattoo, because it's like, okay, you clearly have some interior meaning behind this, that you are like bouncing back from your injuries as a Greek warrior, getting back to the game. I totally get that.
A little medicated.
Yeah, well, maybe. But like, I'm just saying, like, I can get behind the emotional drive behind that tattoo if that is your thought process. But it's still weird. It's still your face. Like when you look down at your leg and you notice, yeah, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's me right there. It's like, what? Like,
let's hope it comes out and it wasn't his.
That's kind of what I'm hoping to, because I'm just like, God, if this ends up being a thing, you're never going to hear the end of it from fans. At least somebody's going to bring it up.
Well, we told you in the beginning of the show it's going to be a wrestling type show because all the PLEs coming up this weekend. We got our boy Chris Flo coming on at 8:00, and then our boy over at Dionysus Brewing, Kyle Pitzer, will be here at 8:30, because we found a brewery that you can actually watch the PLEs and enjoy some cold, refreshing drinks. But before that, I wanted to bounce off because, you know, we've gotten into some sports betting, and I'm hoping to get one of the MoneyWise guys to talk about just recently the talk of banning all sorts of all pretty much sports betting in California, which is insane to me. What are we, Utah?
Look, man, I've said it a million times. I don't get people's grief with in California against sports betting.
Yeah,
I really don't. Like I've had friends look at me and plead to me that it's about saving their kids, and how like, oh, we can't let the kids get a hold of this. Your kids are doing it anyway. If they're going to do it,
you can go around the corner and buy some weed or buy some beer.
Understand that there's something called a school.
Yeah.
And at this school, they have friends, and these friends also watch sports. And I don't know about you. I don't know how you guys lived, but me and my friends all the time looked at each other. $10 that Atlanta beats to the Saints this weekend. $15 USC loses this weekend. All the time. So it has nothing to do with the fact that it's accessible through some sort of casino.
Yep.
They're gonna do it if they want to do it regardless, dude. It's whatever money you give them for their allowance. So I don't understand why California has this giant gripe against sports gambling in general. And it also bugs me that now they're coming after fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous. Stop it. Like, stop ruining stuff for us.
You're taking Christmas presents out of my kids.
I mean, that is what it is, but I don't really try to do it for that. I do it because I have fun, and I love doing it with my coworkers, and it keeps me like sharp to the game and what's going on in other teams that I don't follow that closely.
Well, you don't play 7 leagues.
That's also true.
But no, this guy, a gutsy bettor, placed a $25,000 bet yesterday on the Raiders to win the Super Bowl with 100-1 odds. A wager that could pay him out $2.5 million. But that's a hell of a bet.
Remember what I told?
If you have the money, I get it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. If you have the money and you're willing to blow it, fine. That's fine. But as I said to Anthony yesterday, Delulu is not the Salulu. Delusion will get you bit in the butt. I'm sorry. If you believe that the Raiders are going to make it to the championship game with Geno Smith as your quarterback right now,
and they have to win it.
yeah, all the more power to you, I guess.
I mean, good. That's a gutsy bet. I'm a Dolphins fan. I wouldn't bet on that, but I like the bets on the over and under of what the finished standings will be.
Right.
I feel that's a more safer bet, but the payout is not as well. So, I mean, if you could put 250
and
make it 2.5 million, good for you.
Raider fans are very, very loyal and believe they can beat anybody, no matter who the team is built behind. So maybe you're right. Maybe Max Crosby and Wilkins and all them turn it around with his defense and they just become a powerhouse that no one saw coming. Personally, I can't see you guys winning the Super Bowl, let alone doing what the guy on Rich Eisen said the other day and going 14-3. So I don't know. But I'm a Falcons fan, so what do I know?
And I did catch up. I'm 2 episodes into the quarterback.
Did you really?
So,
see, I finished it in like 2 days. I got on a bender. I usually do with these series. They're so good. But again, like I said, it also makes me upset because it makes me like Kirk Cousins.
I like to, after they I think it was a comeback win, but he went to the barbecue place on the way home.
And they had no idea.
And the lady had no idea, and she was a Saints fan.
Well, again, you just got there, Kirk. You're not really well known just yet in Atlanta.
And I didn't know the history of his family and out in Georgia.
Well, his wife's family in Georgia.
Well, he said he got married in Atlanta. One of the kids was married in Georgia. They even named the kid after
Turner Road or Turner Street or whatever it is down there. Yep. Again, yeah, he's got a lot of ties to Atlanta, which is why everybody kind of put 2 and 2 together when they were talking. Like, it was like, okay, that kind of does make sense. If he doesn't stay in Minnesota, he would go to Atlanta. I just, again, stand by my statement. Whitest guy you know. And he's the most likable guy too, which is what bugs me. Now I don't even want him to leave. I really don't. I'm like, you know what? You can be our backup. Pay him. I don't care. Like, it just, he's too likable, dude. Like, he's just one of those guys that it's like, you really can't hate him. All he wants to do is play football
and win.
Yeah,
he's a perfectionist, and that's what you want out of a quarterback.
He's a perfectionist that's trying to take care of himself, and he just wants to play football. And I get that, but it's like, dude, if you had like the trajectory of Tom Brady, this would be a completely different situation. But it's Kirk Cousins.
Like I said, if they put Josh Allen on it, I will not watch it because I do not want to like that kid.
You know what? I'm actually genuinely shocked. We are most likely going to get him next year. I'll tell you why. The wedding. If you don't think Netflix jumped on that wedding between him and Haley this year and got that on a documentary, you are nuts. That is money. That is walking money that him and Haley got married. And now you would have all this like behind the scenes stuff of it. It'd be crazy. I don't know. We got a shouting old man behind you. Go ahead, put him on the air. That's fine. It's good. Whatever. Jesus. It's good. It is what it is. He looks like Walter, so it doesn't matter. Don't you turn around? I mean, people on the internet stream can see him. He is the spitting image of Walter. If you've ever seen Jeff Dunham, the comedian.
He looks like the puppet from Jeff Dunham's.
He really does. That's 100%. What I'm saying. He looks like Walter. If he just crossed his arms and just squinted his eyes a little bit.
I just got that doll thanks to my buddy Chris over at Moneywise.
Did you really?
We're clearing out our office for our move to the Woolworths building. So we're packing up and, starting to box things up. And the little Muppet puppet, whatever it is, we're sitting in my office because they saw my little kid one that was on the tricycle.
What does
this one would go perfect?
So what, like, for those of you who are Muppet fans, you could probably educate me on this because the only thing I know about the Muppets is Kermit the Frog. And I love Kermit, don't get me wrong, but what does constitute a Muppet compared to a puppet? Like, what's the difference? Like, I've never really like put 2 and 2 together. Why do you call it a Muppet instead of a puppet? Is it because it's supposed to be a monster? Is
it the puppet goes in your hand and the Muppets have sticks?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
I grew up watching Pee-wee, so there's all sorts of stuff. But we'll wrap up this hour. We'll welcome in Chris Flo right after this break on the Early Bird Special.
Welcome back. Final segment of the first hour here, the early bird special. The other side, we talk with our guy Chris Flail, all things wrestling plus some upcoming comedy shows. Go check out, and we'll talk to people at Dionysus Brewing, also about that
And beer.
and beer.
And hot sauce.
Sure, I'm very curious. Need to go get it.
My three favorite things. So
However, we got to get into the home run derby as we have pretty much all week. They finally round out the final 8 that you will see at this year's home run derby. We've already told you about the first 5. Ronald Acuna, obviously, he's the favorite and the hometown hero here in this entire thing. Cal Rayleigh from the Mariners.
Mariners, that's my team.
You're leaning on the Mariners?
I'm the Mariners.
Here's
100%.
Mariners.
Mariners.
Channel. Any particular reason you chose the Mariners?
Cal. And I love
Really?
I like the colors. It goes with my Dolphin gear.
You know what? That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Anytime I can wear a teal.
And they're very exciting. I mean, Julio is really fun to watch too. So I can get behind you being a Mariners fan.
And
That's okay.
I had Dodger fans push me to the Giants because they just want to fight with me for the rest of the year, and I'm going with Seattle.
Well, I mean, they're going to fight with you the rest of the year regardless.
Yeah, they can suck it.
Yeah, it is what it is. So Cal Rayleigh obviously being the second one, James Wood from the Nationals being third. You got Byron Buxton was the fourth one to sign up from the Twins, O'Neal Cruz from the Pirates, and then the last 3 to sign on. And I'm going to go down the list here, and I'm not crazy about the last one, but it is what it is. Junior Caminero from the Rays, 23 home runs. Longest was 425 feet against the A's. Pretty dang solid home run hitter. So I'm actually excited about this one. Although, again, pretty low on the list in terms of how many he's hit in the season. Could still be a pretty hot bat, though, for the entire situation. So I'm okay with this. Brent Rooker from the A's coming in with 19 home runs on the season, 440 being the longest he had against the Angels. Solid pickup. We're now shaky a little bit, though. I mean, Brent Rooker's probably the bottom of the barrel I would have taken.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And then the final one, this is the one I'm not crazy about, but I do love the player as a whole. So hopefully him just being in it will be entertaining, as you know, and being able to talk to him in between rounds will be fun. But Jazz Chisholm Jr. from the Yankees, 17 home runs on the season, 442 being his longest against the Brewers back in March. I'm not crazy about this. Just because, again, number of home runs, he's most likely going to be out in the first round. The only reason Jazz is most likely being asked is because, I mean, you look at the list and probably everybody else said no, including guys like Ellie De La Cruz, Christian Yelich, Lindor would have been better. I mean, Juan Soto would have been better. Ketel Marte has more home runs. Brandon Lowe has more home runs. The list goes on and on. I don't know if all of these men have said no, but if we're reaching all the way down to 17 home runs, which is 28th on the list of the largest leaders, or I'm sorry, the home run leaders in the MLB right now, literally half of what his teammate Aaron Judge has right now. I'm just hoping that he, as a great personality, will bring some ice to the entire thing. But it's much like Alec Boehm last year. That was a reach. It's honestly, Brent Rooker is kind of a reach too.
That's what I thought you were gonna.
Now, Brent Rooker
be
he's right on the cusp because Brent Rooker really is a solid power hitter and is arguably the best power hitter on the A's. And when he gets hot, he gets hot. So he could probably beat one of these better guys in like the early rounds if he can get a good bat swinging. But Jazz, I don't see Jazz hitting more than 5 home runs. I really don't. And I'm not trying to take a swipe at Jazz. I know he's a great player and he's a great batter, but if we're talking about a home run derby, Jazz is not the first name on the list of Yankees that I would call. I would have called Stanton first. I know he's probably hurt right now as he's been for the better of 2 years, but I would have called Stanton. I would have called DJ LeMahieu, and you just dropped him. Like, I don't know. Jazz Chisholm is just, that's a wild choice to me. I don't know. Text in 661-842-2000. How do you guys feel about the home run derby this year? Do you think they rounded out the 8 well enough to make it entertaining? I mean, you got at least 6. I'll give you 6 solid home run hitters. Still not the best, though, and arguably we're scraping the bottom of the barrel every year, and it's just getting bad. But we'll be back on the other side with our guy Chris Flail, talk about all of the wrestling PLEs you can check out this weekend, and there's a lot of them. This is the Early Bird Special on ESPN Bakersfield. Welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special, Hour 2 on this Friday. I don't know why every time you play this, I think you're playing the Jaws theme song. I don't know why. Oh, Lord. We
It
do
does
have,
have that Jaws feel to it.
at the beginning, it does. I'm like, why are we hearing Jaws? Like, is there
The Twitter community is talking and saying that it sounds like Baby Shark. All the
Yes.
kids, all the kids
That
are
was
calling out Baby Shark.
Roxanne.
Yeah,
Roxanne said her
God.
kid or her nephew or niece or
Probably
whatever
nephew
was
or niece.
watching wrestling with her. And she got all excited when Gunther came on and started singing Baby Shark.
imagine thinking Baby Shark's coming out, and then 4 minutes later, El Goldberg
you're
walks
gonna-
out,
yeah,
licking his lips for 20 minutes. Who is this steroided out serpent
So
walking down?
You gave me the text before you came in saying the old man is coming in yelling.
Yeah, I heard you. I was listening to the broadcast, and you were saying an old man's yelling outside the studio, and I'm like, old man's going to be yelling inside the studio in a couple of minutes.
No, I'm sorry. We have our sister station, Kern Radio, has a show going on at the same time, and their host Scott Cox is a massive tennis fan, so he comes in and watches the tennis Wimbledon matches in between his breaks. And it just so happened to line up when we were having a conversation. And I was like,
that's
I
funny.
can't even get Sparky's comment as he's trying to talk to me because Scott's right behind him just yelling.
I
I'm
thought
like,
you just had like a transient wanderer screaming outside. I was like, bring him inside. Ask
I
him
mean,
about
we
Randy
are-
Orton. That's what I do. in
we
here.
are on California Avenue. And to be honest with you,
We'll be downtown here in a
yeah,
couple
we-
weeks, so
we
we
got
welcome
a
it.
handful of them that already come through. But if you're wondering who the other voice is that we're talking to, that's Chris Flail, our guy that usually comes in on Fridays.
Yes.
Sir, good
to
see
be
you
back.
again.
Thank you guys for having me as always. I popped over here from work today, which is why I'm dressed like a count.
I was gonna say you're usually in a wrestling shirt when you're in here, so
Yeah.
this is new.
Can't
I'm
bring
not-
merch. Can't bring merch to the office.
No, that's
so.
true. That's true.
I was hoping he was going to come in like Uso.
Oh, you know, that's
Come in
true.
with the wig. Just go to work with the wig on. I have a doctor's appointment. I got
I
to
laugh
leave
every
at
time
7:40.
when your wife tells you, "Can you just take that outfit
No,
off?"
never. It's really evolving too. It started out really like a Jey Uso wig, and then it became a Razor Ramon wig, and it hasn't bounced back
I like it, Chico.
since.
You can
then.
honestly kind of pull Dom too if you get a little bit more fluff here in the front. you could
It's
probably make
yeah,
it work.
it's almost Dom. I don't know. I don't know where it's
The
going.
universal mullet. That's what this is turning
Yeah,
into at this
yeah.
point.
Exactly.
Oh, good lord. So should we start with wrestling or should we start with your comedy shows?
Whatever you want.
Next week,
Yeah, next week is a comedy show. Tickets are moving well. It looks like it's going to be a good time. Our show, a friend of the show, Andrew Boydston,
Mhm.
will be on.
nice.
We got 2 other headliners on. Myself. It's gonna be a great time.
How was the Seven Oaks show or Stockdale? Which
It
one
was
it?
incredible. Okay, so the shows that I thought were going to be great were a mess.
Does that
Really?
happen a lot in comedy?
It does.
I've
So
heard that from
I
comedians.
did a club in LA. It otherwise would have been great, but the microphone went out on me in a 200-person room, and I'm a very tone dependent and space between
Yeah,
Yeah.
With
thoughts
jokes.
dependent guys. So that was a lot of fun. The housing community that I thought is like, you flip the coin, are they going to absolutely hate this and want to arrest us afterwards? It was fantastic.
right on.
But we've got little tricks now as to how to make that better if you're interested, because whenever you do a private gig,
Yeah.
they're always they don't know what they want. Like, they want a comedy show, but they don't know what it really looks like, and they don't know what it looks like for their people. So 10 minutes before the show, they always come in and they say, okay, here's the rules. You can't say this, you can't say this, you can't say this, you can't say that.
The words.
Don't say anything. As
Yeah.
long as you got 45 minutes of rubber ducky jokes, you're great. So this time, I've just been through enough of these that I said to the guy who was opening the show, I said, hey, when you go out there, just tell them the rules.
Yeah.
And I had a couple friends in the audience. And so he went out and he said, okay, before we get started, I should probably say they told us we can't say blank and can't say blank. And one of my friends from the back went, boo! And the whole room booed the rules. And so we're like, all
nice.
right, we can let it fly.
Now we
Absolutely.
can
So
let
it was
roll.
great. And then the winery in Antelope Valley was just, it turns out they're a strange bunch out there in
Really?
Lancaster. Yeah. Strange. By the way, a winery in Lancaster is already, you've got all due respectfully,
Of course.
highfalutin hillbillies. It's like they're, like they're
That's why I
drinking.
was thinking there's a winery
Well,
in
that's it.
Lancaster. I was like, I wasn't worried. I know the people in Lancaster are weird. It was weird there's a winery
Yeah.
there.
Well, listen, they're drinking like with their pinkies out and kind of looking down their nose at me. And I'm like, hey, I turned down 2 dirt roads to get to this winery. This is not Shangri-La Here, by the way,
You guys are in your best friend's backyard sipping on his grapes.
they
I don't
looked
know.
at my fiance like she had 3 heads because she asked for a Cabernet. They didn't have one. Then she asked for a Chardonnay. They didn't have one. Then she told me she asked for a Sauvignon Blanc. And I said, well, I'm on their side for that one. Because if they don't have Cabernet and they don't have Chardonnay, and
They're
then you
not
said,
gonna
how about a Sauvignon Blanc? I was like, what?
I just
Sweetheart,
immediately
let's
think
ju-
Wayne's World every time you say that.
Oh, Lord.
But how was the show? Was it
Terrible.
weird? Was it like a beat farm or?
They only liked jokes about them and about guns.
and their
so
sisters?
besides that, yeah, if you had
So
something to
as
say
long
about
as-
guns, standing ovation. If you had something to say about them, sitting ovation. Anything else, they just kind of tuned out for.
Wow.
That is why. That is a very odd kind of
Yeah.
Well,
What I'm trying to say
to
is
have to deal with.
I'm excited to be back at Temblor
Yeah,
next
no
Saturday.
kidding.
Yes, we are looking forward to that show. Me and the wife will be out there. I don't know if Burdick's going to make it. Are you going to be out there?
Not next week, and unfortunately, I'll be out of town with family.
Tell him it was good no matter
Yeah,
what happens.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it will. It'll be the first time I get to see you on stage.
In a long time.
I don't think I've ever seen
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay.
I think I caught
Pressure's on.
like the end. Yeah. But we're pretty easy. I mean, we've seen Boydston on the low
Yeah.
side of it. So
Yeah.
every time after that, I mean, we had Anthony on yesterday that does the pregame, the open mic, and he was telling us about this last week how he had a first timer
Mhm.
come on with flip flops and did 9 minutes when he was told to do 2
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
And he said, just the life of
I-
doing an open mic.
Yeah, I think that is typically, I don't want to jinx the person because I don't know them and I wasn't there, but in my experience, that's typically the one that quits in 6 weeks.
Yeah. or is your assistant teacher and turns out to be Boydston here in a couple months.
Yeah.
So
But it's usually the guy who stops after a minute and a half of their 5 minutes and walks up to the host afterwards and says, I hope that's okay. That has the thoughtfulness and they care enough
Right.
that they're gonna put the time in to make it well. But the person typically that gets up and they go,
I meant-
look at me up here right
I
now.
meant to
I'm
ask
doing
him
it.
too,
I'm
and I
doing
didn't.
it.
But I wonder if that guy was drunk or something. Like if he was just loaded and he was just like trying to.
Oh, you
do
lose.
something to-
You just lose time up there.
That's what I'm
sometimes.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
like I've been in those situations as well, where you think that you've only been up there for 2 minutes, but you've actually been up there for 20,
Oh yeah,
or vice versa, where you think you've been up there for 20. It's only
see, I
been,
was
like,
thinking the other
50
side.
seconds.
I thought it was like time slows down.
It
when you're up
depends
there.
who you are
Yeah.
in the situation, honestly, because I've had it both ways. I've had it where I feel like I'm up there for 20 minutes and it's only been like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
So
and you all have done this for a while now, but if you're not involved in a timed entertainment kind of world, you have no idea how long what you have to say is going to
Right.
take. I tell this to people at work all the time. We'll be preparing for some presentation. They'll go, I don't know it's going to take that long. And I'll say, you've got 26 slides. This is going to be a lot longer than the 10 minutes you think it's
Yeah,
going to
that's
be.
45 minutes at least.
Yeah,
just
that's
reading that alone is going to be 30 minutes.
But until you do it repetitively, you just have no idea.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I don't know. That's why I meant to ask him too, because if you're up there for 9 minutes and he's giving you the light and everything, like, hey, get the hell off the stage, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you are not doing well.
Yeah, that's
just-
usually the one that loses the passion for it very quickly.
Right. Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, it's like you said, though, it's probably just more of like an attention thing. Like,
Yeah,
he just
that's
wants
right.
the attention on him. Like the party guy, that's always loud because he just wants everybody he claims he wants everyone to have a good time, but really
Exactly.
he just wants everyone to have a good time with him.
Exactly.
So
Which brings me, if you don't mind, to what I texted you about at WWE. Jelly Roll is making his debut at SmackDown tonight.
There have been a lot of celebrities that have been coming into the WWE that have been trying to make it like their thing
Yeah.
or that kind of a thing. And I get it. It's a product that everybody loves and everyone's watched their entire lives.
Yeah.
But we're starting to get on your guys' side about this. It's like, I don't need these people popping up every year.
Well, that's the
Like,
thing.
why do we still have Cardi B hosting stuff that no one
that's
asked
just a
for?
wild trick.
So they've
Salt
been
and pepper type thing.
Yeah, they've been doing it forever, but it was usually like wild celebrities,
Right.
and it would be a WrestleMania type, like something that would.
Exactly.
big.
Cyndi Lauper.
But
yeah.
this is my biggest gripe on Hollywood now, or it could I'm still struggling whether it's just me getting old, or whether, but this happens with shows all the time. Like my fiance and I love Poker Face season 1, and we love Murders in
that
the
is a
Building season
Awesome
1.
show.
All was great. And then as soon as it gets popular because of the magic of what it had on its own,
Yeah.
all of the cool kids club in Hollywood starts to weasel worm their way into everything and make it what it's not. It's just
I will
these
say the same
empty
thing
vessels of
with Poker Face.
charisma
I
and
couldn't get through the
desperation.
last season. I was like, man, this was a great show. I mean, what's the other one? The Royal Gemstone, the Righteous
The Righteous
Gemstones.
Gemstones. Yeah.
That last season was, I was like, okay, it's falling short.
And I just wish something that becomes cool on its own would take the stand to go, you know what? No, stay home and watch. That's why you like it, is because you stayed home and watched it.
Right.
We just don't get it anymore.
Well, I don't know if it's that or if it's just these shows go one season too long. You know how like
For sure.
Hollywood just sees the popularity and it really should end right here
Yep.
because that's the perfect ending. But then they have to squeeze out just a little bit more money out of it. And
Mhm.
you get that one last season that's just awful and it ruins the entire show for you.
Mhm.
Game of Thrones.
I don't know if you're rap music fans, but I call it the Big Daddy Kane syndrome. Always,
Yes.
always a verse too far in
There
every
you go.
song. Always one verse too far. That's where the money is made. Is the
Yep.
problem, though.
That's true.
Well,
And-
tickets still available for next week's show? Is it sold out?
Tickets are still available. I actually, as a gesture of love, I made a promo code for your listeners.
Oh,
if
nice.
you're interested, if you go to the ticket website, capital letters, early bird, 20% off, not just general, but VIP too. So feel free to eat your heart out there.
Right
We
on.
want your folks joining us as
Join
much as they
us.
can.
I'm looking
But
forward
get
to
them
it.
quick because they are moving quick this time. Last time was the first type of this show, and we didn't know how it was going to work. It worked okay. This one's moving nicely, which is very good to see.
Right on. Well, I'm looking forward to it. We'll continue to pump that up and the promo code. I needed to ask you this one thing because I'm strictly a WWE guy, born and raised. I couldn't watch WCW when I was growing up, and I'm telling myself I cannot watch AEW. I
Yeah.
went to one live event and it showed me why I'm not watching this crap. But it
That
is
was
a
a while
huge
ago, though.
weekend. I don't care. I'm a WWE guy. I've got the
True.
logo tattooed on my arm. I'm strictly WWE. Are you into the AEW or the NXT type stuff?
Not so much. I vacillate back and forth. If it happens to be on, I'll watch as it's on, but I don't seek it out anymore. Punk actually got me back into watching weekly wrestling when he was at AEW. But then as I was watching, I started to go, oh boy, this is just a whole lot not for me here.
Well, okay. The two products are vastly different in the way they're run. Like, I mean, Tony Khan doesn't really do production meetings. So these guys are all kind of left to just do whatever the heck they feel
Ad-lib.
like,
Yeah.
which leads to a lot of really, really bad television at times.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't lean on writers or anybody who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, AEW is not that bad. It's not great. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here
Yeah,
saying
it's
it
fine.
competes.
Well, just said everything in WCW.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fun.
exactly. I mean, that's
I mean,
probably the
I
closest
liked
thing.
ECW just because of Paul Heyman
Oh, I
and
loved
all of
it,
that,
yeah.
but I wasn't as dedicated.
So I agree. Yeah, if you have 9 hours of wrestling to watch per week,
Yes.
AEW is great. But if you have 5 and a
Right.
half,
And you're working
Yeah,
3
you're not
jobs.
Don't
working-
do-
yeah, you don't
don't do it.
waste your time with it. It's not what you're looking
because as frustrating as Jelly Roll on SmackDown may be to you tonight, AEW is going to have the Costco family actually
Mhm.
wrestling real wrestlers and
Yeah,
probably
no,
winning.
yeah,
I did say they re-signed yesterday. Goldberg or not Goldberg?
Kaiser.
No, the Rhodes. What was
Cody?
his name?
Oh,
Dustin?
Gold Dust.
Gold Dust.
Dustin
That's
Rhodes?
what I was thinking. Gold.
I'm really
Dust.
happy for him over there, actually.
That's the one thing I would
he
watch
has an
just to
identity.
Well,
see him, but I can't catch myself to
That's
watch it.
the beauty that I find in AEW is that the wrestlers over there, because there's a lot of really, really good ones that are still over there, they get to do whatever they want to do. And you're actually seeing their passion projects. So like John Moxley, for those of you who are WWE fans, Dean Ambrose is essentially the face of AEW right now, along with a handful of other guys who used to be WWE guys. And they're getting to do all of this stuff that WWE wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And obviously for good reason, because it's not great television.
Yeah.
But they're getting to do it and they're actually having fun doing it. And that's kind of what the beauty of it is that you're seeing wrestlers actually have fun wrestling at the same time, instead of it being the cut and dry business aspect of it, which is why I think that we need AEW.
Yeah.
Because without that avenue, not to mention all these names that we keep hearing from WWE that keep getting cut, will have nowhere to go.
It's a good place to go.
So it's like places like that in TNA are necessary for the industry, because without that, all of these wrestlers not only would be left out to dry when they don't work for the WWE,
Yeah.
but it also just they get to do the projects they actually want to do.
Here's my question to you, because I just don't watch it enough. Do you think that eventually, even if it goes away, because Sparky, you were mentioning ECW. I was a huge ECW fan because I mean I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, so I would see I'd see the Sabu commercials on public access. I was like, what is this? Yeah. But when you look at ECW, there's so much from ECW that became the core of even today what WWE is. Like I wear my Goofy Sandman shirt, but you look at even just one guy that people wouldn't know now. He was Stone Cold before Stone Cold,
really
drinking beers in the ring.
He was the reason Stone Cold was able to drink beer in the ring.
The kendo sticks and hardcore matches started there. Walking into the ring through the crowd started there. All of these things that ECW birthed that are now kind of core dependencies of what the WWE is. Does AEW have anything like that would translate to make wrestling better 10 years from now? Or is it just kind of a farm system?
No, it's more of a farm system. It's nothing that's like really shaking the industry. And that's why it's not a competition thing. Like Tony Khan can sit there and say it all, like say he is a competition to them all he wants, but he's really not. Viewership numbers, all that type of stuff. It really doesn't add up that way. And they really do bounce off each other in terms of like, the matches that you're going to see. You're not going to see anything crazy that AEW has done that WWE hasn't. In fact, a lot of them look exactly like WWE matches. It's just more of the storylines that you're seeing. The thing that they do that like WWE won't do anymore, like they did an entire storyline between two guys, Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, who both former WWE guys. They went to extremes as much to burn down Swerve's house, literally. Like they showed video of Hangman burning down Swerve's house. Like it's like that kind of a stuff. So they'll take it to extremes like that, like ECW used to, but not necessarily in the sense of like you'll see some crazy death match. Like they'll throw on some Texas death match between two of their top guys, but it's not going to be like Sabu versus, Mick Foley kind of a thing. No, but I enjoy it because you do have guys in there like your MJFs, your Anthony Bowenses, your John Moxleys and stuff like that who have just as much talent as a WWE wrestler.
Well, and Sparky, like you brought up Dustin Rhodes himself, I look at him over there and I go, boy, it's a shame Vince was so petty, because this is
100%.
6'5", good wrestler, a lot of charisma. You're like, hey, there was so much meat on the bone with
behind
him.
The scenes,
sweet
too.
guy. Yeah. Why'd you do this? Is it really you just wanted to put his dad in his place?
Probably,
man.
I mean,
it took me years to catch up to Goldust.
Dude, but
at first he creeped me the hell out. But I loved Marlena.
The Tourette's line of work he did too was fantastic.
I've said this, so I have said this before. Now by the way, socially, now is the time for Goldust. Gender and sexuality fluid bully. Now's the time.
Here's
the
thing.
Be
so cool to have
that actually
back.
Is beautiful. I never even thought about that, but I think that everybody's kind of yearning for that kind of a character, which is why guys like Mr. Iguana get a lot of love because he looks exactly like him. Yeah, but just obviously
just green. Verde dust.
Yeah. There you go. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if you'll ever get that in the WWE now, especially with the route they're headed with TKO and stuff. Right. They're trying to take themselves a little more seriously like an athlete.
I mean, I'm trying to still get myself to watch NXT. And I think that would be.
I can't believe you haven't. Mr. Leo DiCaprio reference yesterday.
I'm out by 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So, trying to prep for the show and do my full-time job. I'm like, well, I'm still stuck on LFG. I need to catch up with LFG. So 2 wrestling shows are almost too much for me.
LFG is a kind of different thing, though. It
takes time out of my day.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Although they do go hand in hand now, but they actually are the ones starting this entire PLE run this weekend because they have Great American Bash on Saturday morning, while we get Saturday night's main event that night, along with AEW's All In, and then we get the Evolution PLE
it's going to be
on Sunday.
An amazing card.
It's going to be a crazy weekend. I'm going down to LA first to watch Superman in 40X and then rush home so I can get in time.
You got to let me know how that is.
You want to hear something strange that wrestling backed me into the other day, a week or two ago?
What did they do?
So it's just randomly, speaking of Superman, I happen to know a guy who just made a series of Superman movies to compete with. So This guy reached out to me on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and he said, "Hey, can you get down?" We followed each other. He makes wrestling content too. He says, "Hey, can you come down? Or do you live in LA?" And I said, "I can be there." I said, "What are you looking for?" He's like, "I want to shoot this podcast to talk about wrestling." It's John Landis's son, the guy who directed Animal House
Yeah.
Up,
and
really?
Three
Landis
Amigos.
family.
That's
His
awesome.
son is a writer director, and he just made a Superman movie that he's got on his YouTube thing. Where
Really?
it's
Oh,
like
wow.
this 3.5 hour YouTube diatribe about Superman. And he does wrestling podcasts too. And you're like,
Really?
man, this community,
Yeah, I'm
who
telling you.
needs Jelly Roll
Or Cardi B.
when you've got comedy, writing, and directing royalty doing 4-minute segments on why the pedigree is the best move in the
Yeah.
history of wrestling?
It'll knock you out.
It's like
My
there's a-
brother did the same thing to me in the hallway at our house, and I learned very quickly that there is cement under that carpet.
Yep.
As I
Yes.
went nights after a pedigree.
Just like the old school rings. Yeah.
Oh,
But I got him back with the camel clutch while he was playing video games the next day. Came up from behind him and gave him the good old Sergeant Slaughter
There you
camel
go.
clutch.
Make them humble.
See,
And we
I
still
never
talk
had
about that
moment with my
years
brother.
ago.
I would just slap him across the head. I just say,
So you're the older brother.
Oh,
you're
yeah, I'm
Gunther.
How old
100%
are
older
you,
brother.
by the way?
32.
Okay. How old are you, Sparky?
About 10 years older than that.
Okay, so I'm 39. You play like you're the spring 23-year-old
I never
chicken.
say that
I've
at
been
all.
giving him
You
crap
guys
this
There's a
last
lot
week.
more rings around the tree,
Oh,
listeners. That's
oh.
about enough of this.
Calm down.
We have the Jelly Roll of Gen Z here, just
How?
posing in
First
a
off,
world of youngsters.
Millennial, not Gen Z. And second off, I never claimed to be anything.
You just
Y'all
claimed we
paid
were old.
me. No.
Ever since his last birthday, he's
I said
obviously started getting
older.
old.
Well, as a
Never said that.
39-year-old, I think we can both agree Sparky's old,
Yes.
not
Yes,
us.
that's fine.
He's the vintage fan.
I'm
That's right.
That's why
vintage.
he's behind the glass.
That's why I'm not watching this crap that they call AEW.
Again, you don't have to. I totally understand why people don't jump behind it. It's not great TV all the time. It
Yeah.
really isn't. And honestly, there's a lot of moments where I cringe and just say, God, that was bad.
Yeah.
But it has its moments of being like, okay, like I could see what you're at least trying to do here.
Sure.
So, but again, you make a very good point. If you have multiple jobs and you only have limited time to watch wrestling and you want to watch it,
Yeah.
watch Raw and SmackDown.
Watch
Don't
Raw and
the-
SmackDown
yeah.
and then scroll Twitter because they're spying on you. They'll show you the
Yeah.
AEW highlights too.
Exactly. I mean, and the minimal there are, but there are some.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there are a handful in there that I have a lot of respect for a lot of these guys that just do the work that they do.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I let KG get away with it a little bit on Tuesdays because he does not care for the prog at all. He doesn't care for AEW in any way, shape, or form.
Well, it would be hypocritical for me to snub my nose at AEW, the farm system, and then be like, "Hey, come see me at the Barley Room."
I mean, they don't want
At
to
the
be
Deep
a
Farm.
I'll be at the
system, but-
Lancaster Winery this Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. So going back to wrestling, I know we can't run down all the PLEs and all the matches, but is there at least a couple matches, whether it's the Saturday night main event, which hopefully it's not bombarded with commercial breaks, and Evolution on
I
Sunday?
feel like it's going to be though, because we only have 4 matches right now, and they barely announced the 4th one last night.
You think we get another one added tonight
I feel like you do, yeah.
to round it up with the
Hoping it's
5
a tag
matches?
match. I feel like it's been like 6 months since we've seen a tag match in a freaking PLE.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing in the world.
I'm fascinated on the Evolution side, the Rhea Ripley Io Sky,
Mhm.
and then the tag title match.
The Battle Royale.
I'm really stuck between Roxanne and Raquel or
I love
Alexa
'em.
Charlotte Flair because it can go, in my opinion, that one can go one way or the other. Roxanne and Raquel can form this, strong bond and get the belts, and that can be a storyline with Liv. Or Liv could have some sort of return tonight that jeopardizes that, and finally Alexa gets her storyline because she and Charlotte have a thing building. I just don't know.
2 sides to this coin that I want to go down though, because one being the champions right now, which will be Roxanne and Raquel. If they do lose them, do you think that they're going to start this entire storyline when we finally get the Judgment Day broken up?
No.
Either way, I think we need to see that.
Right.
happen.
No way.
Yeah.
I think they're just getting their stride now.
You think they're just?
I
gonna
thought
start
maybe
rolling?
6 months ago they was gonna, close shop, but now that they're all holding belts and it just works perfect. I think they set up that story with Liv and she gets her own posse to go up against them. But I think Judgment Day is on fire right now. Why would you break that up now?
Well, you're finally building up the character. So I apologize. I can't even remember the guy's name that has the giant head and little body.
JD.
JD.
Poor
He
guy,
does have
dude.
a he's
He's
got
a
a
badass
small
wrestler.
fellow's body. He looks like a Nintendo Wii character. But
Really
but
does.
as tag champions,
I love that guy,
as
man.
tag champions, everybody hated it was the New Day so much
Yeah.
that they've got some heat now, so they can separate and do their own. They're finally building these stars up. Finn
First
Balor
time I
is going
heard
to
that
Finn
one.
Balor wherever
I
Finn
love
Balor
Finn
is,
too.
and so he can go on his own and Finn Balor it up.
See, we thought that 6 months ago, and I think it's kind of circled back around where Judgment Day is on fire right now. I wouldn't mess with that.
I'm telling you, I have a gut feeling Dom's going to lose that belt to
Mhm.
AJ.
Mhm.
Raquel and Roxanne are going to lose those belts to Charlotte and Alexa, which is
Which
the
I
second
love.
side of this coin, because I feel like the internet's going to have a heyday against Charlotte, because the minute she touches these belts, all we're going to hear is Charlotte Hogan. Charlotte has to have a belt. Charlotte
Yeah.
can't be in the company without a belt.
She grew on me.
I will say she's.
I love Charlotte. She laughs at that.
They grow on you very quickly.
I was
do.
going to say, yeah, you're.
There's
Gro-
a
growing on
lot of
them,
hate
apparently.
for
I'm
Randy
growing
for
on
a
her. I
while.
love
A lot
her,
of
dude.
hate for
Sparky's
Charlotte.
growing.
No, she's just a badass wrestler.
No, she
You know,
is.
I
She's-
hated her
she
on the
is.
mic, but the more I saw her wrestle, I'm like, damn, she's talented.
Well,
dude.
and she's done a really good job the last couple of weeks of building the out of event public. The Undertaker's podcast. She was great. She's given a lot of insight. She's really
that story about being hammered and having the Undertaker take her home was hilarious.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one.
She's
it's great.
incredibly charming. She's as charming out of the ring as her father was in the. She's the
And I hated-
counterbalance to her
I
dad,
hated
which
Ric
is
Flair.
a great
That's the-
storyline in itself.
Bugs me though is why can't we get that charm in the ring with a freaking mic in your hand?
Well, and I think that the WWE has done this to the women a lot, and I mean he'll put 19 of them in the ring at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you, as somebody that runs shows, you know how to set somebody up to succeed. They're not. It's not. There's not going to be the same screaming and presence in the ring. They're often tinier people. It's just juice the mic, quiet the crowd, build the space, and let the two of them go at it more often.
Absolutely.
I think they need to foster those more.
Well, we will see you next weekend, and
Yes,
then
sir.
following we'll see you back here.
Love it.
So
Fantastic.
check out, what's the promo code?
Early bird, capital letters, one word. Pop that baby in and join us. Bird,
Next Saturday at Timber.
we'll have you
20%,
there
you
next
said?
time. 20%. Yeah, 20% off the tickets.
It's a dang good
You
deal.
can save that and put some pocket money in your for your beer.
That's what I'm
There you go.
saying. I'd get a couple more just for us, because
Get there early,
I
take some
can't be
wings.
there. So
in spirit. You'll be
in
there.
spirit, yeah.
Well, we
Just pour one
appreciate
out
your
for
time,
me.
brother, and hopefully you have a good weekend. And I'm sure we'll be texting over these matches, especially when we see Jelly Roll.
Absolutely.
But
Thank
we'll,
you, boys, as
we'll
always.
have Kyle Pitzer here right after this break on the Early Bird Special.
And welcome back, Early Bird Special. We got one more guest before we get out of here. We told you this is going to be a wrestling-packed second half of the show. You have 4 PLEs to go watch this weekend.
At Dionysus.
At Dionysus, hopefully. Their guy Kyle is here to talk about that with us. Sir, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Good. Thanks for having me.
So we talked about this off the air, obviously, but you guys have been doing this for a long time. You've been doing wrestling watch parties. What got this started? And how has it been going for you guys so far?
Well, it really started by I'm a big wrestling fan, and I noticed no one that was coming to the brewery was watching wrestling. So I started putting it on the TV, like, hey, WrestleMania. I think it was 39 down in Los Angeles. I just threw it on, and I noticed everyone's eyes were just glued to the TV. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there's some traction here. So I didn't really think much about it until I think it was like that next year Royal Rumble. I was like, hey, I'm going to promote this and see if we get some traction. So I did a little promotion on it for the brewery, and we had a full house. We had half the crowd didn't even watch wrestling, and after that event, they were hooked.
They're hooked.
Yeah, exactly. So
Nice.
From that point forward, we're like, hey, every PLE, let's promote it. And so we have a good group of guys that come in every event. They're there. They hold the bar down. They get there like an hour or two early, just so they
get their
spot.
seats.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's a tight knit community. It's growing though. You know, there's people come with their families, kids, so they come with their belts. It's pretty awesome, man.
So you guys are
ICKG.
family friendly, obviously.
Yeah, we are family friendly. We have food trucks like Bucky's Hot Chicken's going to be there this weekend.
Nice.
And there's another food truck called Sabor Jalisco. They do like Mexican style food. So
Okay.
we come in, you can get food. The kids can have their own food. And of course, we have drinks for adults.
Naturally.
Yeah,
Naturally.
exactly.
So well, let's get to that though. You guys are a brewery. So what kind of what brews we looking at here? We looking at IPAs? We looking at a little bit of sours? Like what
We're pretty complex. We do a lot of mixed fermentation sours. We're the only place in Bakersfield that does that. And that's kind of what people know us by.
Okay.
But we specialize in a lot of other things like your West Coast IPAs, your hazy IPAs. Right now, my favorite is a beer called Hanami. It's a Japanese rice lager. We actually make like 50 pounds of jasmine rice, throw it in the mash, and we brew with it. And it's like one of the most delicious beers you'll ever have. So
Nice.
We're always experimenting. We're small batch. We're not like macro where we sit on one batch for half the year. It's like whatever we brew is going to be gone in 2 weeks. So you can expect us to come out with something new all the time.
So quick turnaround every time you're in there.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys brew in-house.
Yep. So if you're in the tasting room, let's say you're watching a WWE event, you could probably look to your left and see me brewing while I'm watching the event as well.
That's awesome. That is fantastic.
Well, this was a match made in heaven. My wife works down the street over. She does the books at Slater Plumbing. So I was picking her up the other night, and I saw you guys out in the corner. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I pulled up in the parking lot. I was like, all right, I'm going to look it up. And I saw the wrestling post, and I'm like, oh, hell yes.
match made in heaven.
And
dude,
then
I'm
I
telling
saw
you.
the website, and I saw the hot sauces, and I'm like, dude, everything I love, wrestling, beer, and hot sauce,
So
I am sold.
We got to talk about that too. What got you guys into hot sauces, and how do you guys make those?
Well, unfortunately, my body can't handle as much as it used to, but I used to be a really big just pepperhead. I would go and search the hottest hot sauces, do the whole wing challenge. And then
We just did that as a family. Yes.
absolutely.
I have a bottle of Da Bomb at my house right now.
I mean, that thing's pretty hot.
It is.
It's
It
pretty
is
hot.
not what. Do not go buy this for your family.
That's
It's
where the
not one to
family
do.
tapped out. I was
Yeah.
keep going, but
The last dab isn't that bad, but
It
the
tastes
bomb,
really good,
It
though.
really does. But
well,
the
after
bomb
you
does
got
not
past
taste
the
good.
bomb, I don't think I tasted anything after that.
No,
so.
that was my issue with it too. It's like, how can you taste anything? I'm sorry, not to
No,
cut you
you're
off.
good.
Continue.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm always trying to stay busy. I could keep doing the same things I'm doing and do good and be good at it. But hot sauce was a new adventure. I'm like, hey, let's tap into that. So we do different flavors. We, make it in house. We go from green like Serrano style, which is still could be pretty hot. Serranos are deadly sometimes. All the way up into your Carolina Reaper, Ghost Pepper, Trinidad Scorpion. So I mean, but we try to dial it back a little more. Like our favorite one is it's a orange juice base with all habaneros and a little bit of garlic. It sounds simple, but it is the most delicious hot sauce you ever have. It's called Citrus Tears. So and we like to pair it with like Bucky's Hot Chicken. Right now we have a hot sauce called Get Buck, and Bucky's actually tosses their wings in it. So
I know what I'm getting this
Nice.
weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So we like to stay experimental
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
have fun with it, and our customers love it.
Well, I mean, making salsa, I'm sorry, making hot sauces and making beer kind of seems like two different things, but can
Yeah.
they kind of coincide together? Do you
Oh,
kind
hell
of,
yes.
is it kind of the process is the same in a way?
Not even close.
Not even close?
I can make hot sauce in 40 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Beer takes the brew day takes about 8 hours, and then it takes an additional 2 weeks after that to ferment and all the other good stuff.
Right.
So
I'll let you do all the hard work while I enjoy it
Hey,
all.
Yeah, the
and
process.
don't worry,
is-
I enjoy it afterwards too.
I'm sure you do. I saw you have the citrus that was on tap,
Yep.
and that's the one. I'm not a sour guy. I know that's
I love
Burdick.
sour,
He likes
so
the
I'm
sour
coming,
stuff.
I'm coming in for that regardless.
Hey, I'm telling you, we have a little bit of everything, man. And like that one that I just came out with yesterday was a beer I brewed when I was a home brewer back in 2013,
Mhm.
and I never brewed it commercially. I don't know why. So I decided, hey, let's go back to my roots and brew something.
Well, that was going to be my question: is how did you get started with that? Is this something that you wanted to test out, and it burned and went through it?
Shoot. It has been a trial and error, but no, I worked at Lengthwise Brewing Company from when I was 18 to 25 years old. I bartended there, and I kind of picked their brain for many years. Jeff Williams, the previous owner, he gave me so much insight over the years, and I kind of took that knowledge. I started brewing at home, and I got to a point where I felt very confident in the beers I was making at the time, and I got a couple business partners, and we went all in. We just said, hey, throw all the chips in, and it worked out. We hit the ground running. And then since then, I bought my partners now. It's just me and my wife, and
Awesome.
things are great.
Awesome, and it's a beautiful location, and it's right in my backyard, so I don't have to drive downtown or anything. I live right around the corner. I could walk home. So I'm actually taking my son out early Saturday morning to go see Superman. We're gonna get into the wrestling thing because I'm not a big AEW guy. I'm the old school. They call me the vintage because I'm the old guy that watched wrestling growing up. I go back to like the Undertaker when he first came out, and the Ultimate Warrior and the Bushwhackers and all those types of wrestlers. So I've always been the WWF type guy, and the AEW type. I'm still trying to get into the NXT, but I'm hoping to rush home and get in time for the Saturday night's main event. But I will definitely be there for Evolution. So do I need to get there a little early to get a good seat?
Evolution, you'll probably be okay. I've actually had more people inquire about Evolution than anything else. So
it's a badass match card, man.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So you're excited to see Goldberg get retired or what?
That's
never liked
everybody at this
Goldberg.
point. Everybody's waiting for Goldberg just to get that one chop where he does not get up.
I hope he beats him for minutes.
I don't think this is going to be that long. I think that we're going to get like a classic Goldberg 3-minute match, but just going to be Goldberg is the one that's going to get plowed out.
I just
this
hope
time.
he doesn't win.
Exactly.
Just a little wild card. They're like, let's give him a belt one more time.
Oh, I would hate that. I think the internet would hate that too. But can I give you a couple of names though for you to look at just to turn you over to AEW? I promise you. You said that about Randy.
We'll see.
You said that about Randy, and I turned you around over on Randy Orton. Look up MJF.
Oh yes.
Look up Samoa Joe, and look up John Moxley.
Hmm.
Those three, actually, and Swerve Strickland. Those four will sell you on AEW.
And you didn't even bring up the guy we interviewed.
Anthony Bowens?
Yeah.
Oh no, Anthony's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but he's still building.
Yeah,
he just became a solo wrestler.
Yeah, he's
so
like a mid-card guy right now.
Yeah, he's not quite there yet, but personality-wise, he's fantastic. But no, those four names, if you're looking for some hardcore wrestlers, especially some hardcore wrestlers that have been around for a long time, because Samoa Joe, if you are a fan of the Twisted Metal series, is the guy who plays Sweet Tooth.
Oh, nice. Well, then I'm already sold.
Samoa Joe was in WWE.
Yes.
And so was John Moxley.
Yeah, and they have a long history of just really great matches.
I took a 10-year break because I hated WCW. So I was a 10-year break after Vince had bought WCW, and we started seeing all these guys pop in and pop out. I'm like, what the hell is happening? I took a break, and Burdick got me into it a little over a year ago, and now I'm all in.
Yeah, there's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah,
Who are all these guys?
And I didn't like Orton just because the matches with the Undertaker, it just looked like he was was half in and half out. And now, since watching for the last year or so, Orton has grown on me.
Well, luckily, Undertaker has gone through entire matches where he is literally not remembered any of it.
Of
So
course.
clearly,
Touched,
he's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
The man can live.
Well, first of all, what's the schedule for people to come out this weekend?
So Saturday, we're open 12 to 9. The AEW show All In starts at 12, and then the NXT, the Great American Bash, starts at 12. So we have 2 different TVs and we have a projector screen. We'll probably have the sound on for just AEW. It's like a surround sound, so you can hear everything. You can
Right
hear
on.
like the ring rattle. So that's pretty nice. And then Saturday night, 5:30 is the WWE Saturday Night Main Event. So that will be on all the TVs. And then Sunday, right at 4, we'll have them on all the TVs for Evolution. We'll have food trucks available. Usually Sunday, we're 12 to 5, but we're going to be 12 to whenever the PLE is
ends.
over. So
Right on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if see that one's going to be long. I think they have 7 matches
Which one
for Evolution.
Evolution is much longer than Saturday night's main event.
it'll probably be, what, 3 hours?
I would assume 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, because I mean, you also have the Royal Rumble that the Battle Royale
Yeah.
that they're gonna have as well, along with a whole bunch of other matches. So I would assume that one's gonna be probably at least close to 2 to 3 hours.
We already know who's going to win that Battle Royale.
All right. Well,
Stephanie?
Yeah.
Becker.
Yeah.
that was actually gonna be my next question. So you're a Stephanie Vicaire fan, then? You're
Who
thinking she's gonna
isn't?
pull it out?
I love
mean, that's
her
fair.
and I love Julia.
Yeah.
Love those 2 girls.
Nice.
Fantastic, dude. I mean, I think the industry is in such good hands
Oh,
going forward.
The women's division is at an all-time high right now.
Oh, 100%.
So, I mean,
With Asuka's return, I'm
Oh, yeah.
so pumped.
And I mean, well, Io's not even that old, too. She's going to be around for a while. Rhea's young. I think that we're going to have some great just wrestling from the female side in general. And, well, honestly, not to go back to AEW, but they have a handful over there, too, that are
They do.
fantastic.
They really
Mercedes
do.
Monet's doing her thing. Harley Cameron's fantastic. Chris Statlander is really fun to watch. So it's like
WWE just stole one of their stars, too.
Yeah.
And, what's her new name?
what are they calling her now? Blake Monroe, isn't that what it is? Because
Yeah,
it's
Monroe, yeah.
well, formerly Mariah May from AEW.
Yeah, she
She's
was
got this
great.
entire Marilyn Monroe thing going in the NXT world right now.
Kind of mimics Tony Storm, but
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, and that's the other one too. Another
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about these shows is that they are so back and forth with, a lot of these guys are AEW guys, a lot of these guys are WWE guys. Half of NXT's roster right now used to be on AEW.
Yep.
I mean, it really doesn't matter anymore. And I think that both shows are just progressing in whichever way they need to.
And honestly, AEW went through really, I would say, sluggish year and a half,
Mhm.
and they're just now starting to get their feet back on the ground.
When they lost Punk
Oh,
and Cody, it really started going downhill.
I agree.
And everybody, because all they really had there left was MJF, and they were riding that way too hard. They tried to make him the Roman Reigns of the show, and he
Yep.
couldn't carry it that way. And he's a fantastic wrestler and easily the best one on the mic for them.
Hands down.
But I agree with you though. Like, I think now with all of these guys going to AEW and then being able to build stuff, especially guys with like Bobby Lashley's over there now,
Mm.
building the Hurt business. I think it's
Ospreay.
really working. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, 2 guys from New Japan that are fantastic too. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are qualities of AEW that I think people like would get behind if they gave it a shot.
Well, I don't know if you went to the AEW show in Bakersfield.
I did,
think it was
yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
And, they're not that big, but I went there. I was like, there's not a lot of people here. That made me sad, But the crowd was still the most active crowd I've seen.
yeah. Oh
out of-
yeah.
I mean, I just went to WrestleMania 41 in Vegas.
Nice.
Did you?
41 or 42? It was
41. 41.
I mean, that's a totally different experience than seeing something local.
I can
Naturally.
only imagine.
Hey, speaking of that, so me and my wife had some like nosebleed seats. They're pretty expensive, right? And
Right.
we got a text message the day of, like 2 hours before the event. They're like, hey, we upgraded your seats. I'm like, oh, sweet. Anything's better than what I have.
Right.
We get there. They're like, hey, follow us. They throw all these like wristbands on us. We're like, what's going on, man? And
Did you get moved to seat fillers? Is that what happened?
they took us backstage.
What?
So I'm like seeing Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Linda McMahon was there,
Nice.
Kathy Kelly, and then they take up these stairs, and all of a sudden we're sitting.
You're sitting on the top of the. So you got to sit up there.
Yeah, we're on the stage.
So, okay, quick question for you then before we let you go. What was that like? What were the seats like? Could you actually see anything? Because I made the point that those could be the worst seats in the house.
No, it was amazing.
Really?
Best seats
Okay.
in the house.
Fantastic. Explain what you saw.
So you could see everyone walk out, like they're right next to you.
Right.
The pyro was a little close, so it'd scare you.
Naturally.
You're just like, hey.
Could you actually see like, okay, so like Tiffany walking out with the Barbie doll boxes and stuff.
Oh, no,
Could you actually see
I
that?
couldn't see that part.
Okay.
Though we had our own table service. We had our
Wow.
own bathrooms. So I didn't have to move. I could just be like, hey, give me a beer or give me some
Right.
nachos. And it was great. I mean, for what we paid and what we got, it was totally worth it.
So was this just a random upgrade they gave you?
So I guess they needed the section that we were sitting in for
Trying to
video
fill it up?
equipment.
Oh,
I guess they wanted like a special angle from where we were sitting.
Exactly.
So
Okay.
they gave everyone in that section a new
A
seat.
hookup down
Yeah.
there. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I did not realize you sat there. I'm glad that we knew that because I was so curious how those seats
Oh,
would
it was
look.
so awesome.
Because in my head, I'm sitting there like, you don't get to see the entrances, which is half of the fun of WrestleMania. You don't really see the ring very well, but I don't know exactly how
The ring
far
was
away.
actually, it was a good, there was nothing obstructing the view. You're pretty, I think it was going to be worse where we were at. So I feel like overall it was better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
That's
I'm
a
glad
nice
to hear
little
that.
hookup.
Yeah, because I was
Wow.
like, dude, I was really worried sitting there thinking, God, the people who bought those tickets must be dumb.
I was,
Like,
I
God,
was
this must
so
be the worst
stoked.
seats.
I was so
That's
stoked.
awesome, though, dude. That's
sold.
so cool. I'm like that. I'm glad we got to talk to somebody that was in that seat because I was
Yeah.
so curious how those seats actually look.
Yeah. And I think it was the first time they ever put anyone on the stage.
Yes,
like that,
it was. And I mean, and obviously that means you're part of WWE
Yeah.
history there.
Yeah,
You can
I'll
tell
take it.
people it's like, see, that's me. You can't see
100%.
me, but I'm there. I'm there.
Well, we only got a couple minutes left, so we'll run through this break. So,
Okay.
is there any other matches that you're looking forward to? I mean, we'll start with the first ones.
AEW. I mean, I like Mercedes money. Everyone hates on her, but I want to see her
don't-
win, dude.
I only hate on it because at this point, her holding all the belts really
Oh, I
does
love
make
it.
her look like Hogan. It
yeah,
really
but Kenny
does.
Omega did it, and they praised him.
True.
So I'm like, hey, let her be the Kenny Omega of the women's division.
Do you think? Because okay, for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, Mercedes Moné is a longtime WWE wrestler as well. Under
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, thank you. And she's part of the horsemen or horsewomen that really started this entire thing, along with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. Do you kind of think that helps her legacy to kind of bolster her over people like Charlotte? Because at this point, everybody kind of sees Charlotte is the top dog. Sasha and Becky are kind of even right now, and then Bayley's just a little bit behind them.
Yeah, I mean, I put Charlotte at the bottom. She's
I kind of do too.
everything is just given to her, and I don't like that. But she's a good wrestler, so I won't knock her on that.
Her talent in the ring definitely is warrants why she is that popular. But I like we just talked about it with our last guest. I hate her on the mic.
Yeah.
I can't stand it
She's
when she tries
horrible.
to do the
Yeah.
woo like her
Hey,
dad did. I can't
and
stand
she
it.
had that promo with Tiffany Stratton, and she couldn't even talk, and she was.
But see,
Well,
okay.
she came out yesterday, was talking about that. She said when she attacked the divorce, she lost it.
Oh
She-
yeah,
she
no,
lost
'cause
her
that
mind was just blank.
that wasn't script. That was not scripted at all. She took a
could tell.
jab at her, and that's what kind of made me laugh though about that entire run. Is I thought Tiffy was getting roasted,
Mhm.
especially that one that looked like a UFC side by side.
Yeah.
She got destroyed, and it's like, dude, this is terrible for her. And then she comes out, has the jab about her divorce with Andrade and all that
Yeah.
stuff,
And
and everything.
got
turned
right on
180.
track.
Oh yeah.
But it's like that was the only time I think I can ever remember Charlotte Flair roasting somebody on a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the only
Yeah.
time I can honestly
And
say.
I mean,
I've ever
we
seen.
got to have Tiffy on the show ahead of the last WWE
nice.
event.
Yeah.
And one of the best things, just watching her grow. I remember when she was, who was it? She was battling when she first got into WWE. She was horrible on the mic,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
and she'd been working it, and she's the star that we all wanted her to see.
Yeah,
And
she's
I'm
an athlete
super
too,
proud of
man.
her, dude.
She's so good.
It
Yeah,
honestly makes you wonder why they couldn't fix Ricochet.
Uh,
It really does make you wonder why they couldn't
he's
get
so
that
bad
boy to
on the
work.
mic.
I
He's so
don't
bad on the mic.
understand. It's like you're so good at a ring, you could do everything.
all right. Then
Like,
moving on to Saturday night's main event.
Well, I mean, all right. I just think there's gonna be a surprise there, man. I know it's
I am-
Goldberg and it's Gunther, but it's like, hey,
part of me kind of hopes that you're right, but part of me hopes you're wrong because the internet is going to explode if
I'm not a
Goldberg
big
gets
Gunther
one
fan
more
either,
guy.
so I'm like, all right, it would be funny if he lost because he walks around like he's the best guy ever.
Yes.
So
This is something that I've kind of been mulling over, though. How do you feel about this potentially being Goldberg setting up his son for a potential career.
Well, I read, that he wanted his son a part of his last match. They haven't teased it at all. So if they could maybe have him come out and help him win that match,
Right.
that'd be cool.
Because, I mean, long-term storytelling, this did start because Gunther was talking ill of Goldberg to his son's
Yep.
face, saying,
Yeah,
I
in
hope
front of
your
his
dad
family.
was a better father than he was a wrestler. Like, so at the end of the day, it could come full circle that Gage comes out from the stands, helps his dad with one spear because he is a football player.
He is.
And, I mean,
I seriously think the match of the night is going to be the Visionary
No, in
Ooh,
LA
with
Knight.
and LA Knight. I think it's just going to be a great match. You put two great wrestlers in, and I mean, I think there'll be some involvement with
Of
the
course.
group, and so probably somebody, whether it's Penta or someone else, Sammy. I know Sammy's on the show for a while, so maybe somebody else surprises, and it's that third person.
maybe it's Kevin. Maybe we Kevin Owens.
Dude, I
back,
would
but
love that. I love Kevin
Something
Owens. So
about this match makes me feel, though, that this is the setup for War Games.
You think so?
This is going to be Team Seth versus Team Punk or Team Roman, whichever one they're going to do. I think it's going to be Team Punk. I think you're going to get Seth Rollins and his crew, along with maybe Solo and somebody else to fill out the group. And then you're going to have like Punk, LA Knight, Penta, Jey Uso, and maybe Roman as the 5. And then you're going to get
Because
that
Roman
built
is
up.
coming back for SummerSlam.
Right.
yeah,
So I'm assuming
I
that's
read
what
yesterday he
this
has
is
some
built
new
up for.
nickname that they're going to call him.
There's another one.
Yeah,
OTC1.
I know,
OTC
really.
one.
I like OTC. I thought that was really clever.
Yeah.
I
So-
was like, dude, that was the best nickname you've gotten since Big Dog.
Yeah.
So for the last couple minutes, we got Evolution, which I think could blow away all of them this weekend.
Which is wild because the ticket prices are still crazy.
yeah, no one's
Yeah.
buying them,
It's
and
just like I don't get it. I really don't.
Me
But
neither.
I'm looking forward to the 4-way tag team, and I'm kind of torn because I love the Judgment Day,
Oh yeah.
and I like how they formed the tag team champs, but it's going to be tough because I also love Alexa Bliss and Flair, so I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if they pull those titles.
You got the Kabuki Warriors back together too. So
that's gonna be interesting to watch. I
That's
just
another
got
one.
I got annoyed because, and I texted our wrestling guy this on Monday when I was watching Raw, but they led the show saying, "Oh yeah, NXT is going to announce their guys or their girls tomorrow on the show." They even had a promo with Ava about it and everything. Then at the end of the show, they show that it's already going to be Sol Ruka and her teammate. And I'm like, you did it again.
they do that a lot lately.
And I'm
I feel
like, dude, how do you tee that up saying, oh yeah, tune into NXT tomorrow where you'll figure out who's going to be the tag team to be in this 4-way. And then at the end of Raw, you already find out before they even announce it on Tuesday. Like, that's wild to me. I don't get it. Production
I'm with
is
you on
killing me.
that. I'm with you on
Well,
that.
if you like wrestling, beer, hot sauce, and chicken,
Absolutely.
join Dionysus Brewing this weekend, and we appreciate you taking out the time to
Thanks,
join
Henry.
us, brother.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait to get down there to try the sours too. I am very much looking
Well,
forward
if you
to
come in, you'll see me.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother, for your time. We appreciate
thank
it. We
you.
got to get out of here for the weekend. Hope you guys enjoy it as well. We got to get away for the great Rich Eisen. This has been the Early Bird Special on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield. Sparky, let's go home.